I leave that appointment and I was like, I'm never going to see any of those guys ever again. And I was like, I'm going to heal myself. I am going to get better. I am going to do everything to make myself better. I don't care what I have to do. I'm going to do it. This is not the answer. I'm Izzy.
I'm Maggie.
And this is the Long Game Podcast where we talk all things faith, family. What? Not family, really. Why did I say that?
Faith, relationships.
Faith, relationships.
And wellness.
And wellness. It's because we're changing it to wellness. Yeah, wellness. So we're excited to be here today. Today is, we're in August right now. Okay, so you're probably listening to this in August too.
Yeah.
Which is a big month for me because this month marks 3 years being completely off medication. Woo. So that's something to celebrate.
Huge.
Yeah, it's
that's
a huge
amazing.
Thing. I'm very excited about it. And I think I realized that last year when I posted about it and everything, because I was like really excited. It was 2 years last year, but it felt like a really big deal. And now I'm like, man, it's already been 3 years.
3 years is a long time.
Yeah.
That's crazy to think about. Yeah. Does it feel like 3 years?
Feels like way longer, to be honest.
Okay.
I feel like since then, since I've been set free from all that stuff, I feel like it's literally been like, I've lived a whole other life. You could tell me that was 10 years ago.
I can see that though.
You know what I mean?
Like I just think back to
when I was in
the place you were, when you were in it. Mm-hmm. And you are so different now.
I'm so
praise
different.
God.
I am. Yeah, praise God. I'm literally, I feel like a completely different person. And I am. Yeah. The reality is I am.
Yeah. You've changed so much.
Yes.
In the best way.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, so we kind of want to chat about that and just be vulnerable, have an open conversation about like my experience, obviously, with like mental health, mental illness. Specifically, I was diagnosed with bipolar disorder. I also did get diagnosed with borderline for a period of time, mm-hmm. and then depression and, the fun little bit there. But I'm really passionate about mental health because I feel like the way that society pushes it now is always to perpetuate victim mentality. Mm. You are a victim to your mental health. You are a victim to your circumstances versus being a victor. And I just want to change that. I want to talk about that.
Did you ever feel like a victim while you were while you were being diagnosed?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
And at some point too, so I'll kind of start from the beginning. Things started not going well for me right when I was 19. It started to get pretty bad. And when I was 17 is when I had my first round of medication for depression because I got super depressed. I really did. Jack, my older brother, moved away. My parents were in a nasty divorce. It was life was pretty hard. I got super, super down. And went in and then they were like, yeah, you're just super depressed and all the things. So they put me on a bout of medication. I already didn't even feel good about it. Didn't really want to do it.
Even at 17,
mm-hmm.
you had.
I was like, I don't like this.
Wow.
I saw a bunch of different therapists. I didn't like any of the therapists that I spoke to, but I was trying. I didn't stay on medication for long. I didn't even do a full round.
How long is that?
I was looking into this today, actually. And a clinical trial is 6 months, and you shouldn't do more than 6 months typically. But I didn't even do 2 months. I was like, I'm done. I'm not doing this, basically.
Yeah.
And then I was just in the world of soccer, and it was just push,
really
try and make
intense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I got injured and things started happening and I just never stopped. And you knew that about me. I didn't ever stop with anything that I ever did.
Yeah. It was go 100% all the time.
All the time. How much can I suffer today? Basically.
Yeah.
And that's what I did. So I didn't have much time to pay attention to any of the things that were actually going on. And then basically COVID hit. And it just got.
You came back home. You were at college, but you came back home when school shut down.
And that was the start of it getting pretty terrible.
Okay.
Pretty, yeah. I mean,
I
you were around for it too. Yeah. So yeah, it was, I would just have bouts of feelings I could not explain so intensely, crying, scratching myself, everything. It was terrible. It was terrible. It was absolutely terrible. I felt like I was going to die. I felt like I couldn't live a normal life. I felt like I felt so hopeless at times. I felt like this is what I would be in this situation. I would be stuck forever, and this was my life. This is what it was going to be. And yeah, it was a really hard time. And you were there for me the whole time.
Well, no, I'm glad that I was there, that we were both like, that you did move back home, because I was able to be with you in that. But I remember how like those like huge feelings, just like waves of huge emotions, like really high highs and then really low lows.
Yeah.
While you were back home.
Yeah.
And I remember like not understanding how that felt, but like really wanting to understand. I even remember like going to Barnes and Noble and like buying books like about bipolar or about borderline, whatever it was, to like try to understand, because I remember like knowing that whatever it was, like it was really, really serious.
Yeah. It felt like I could not get a grip on anything. It felt like it was just getting worse and worse. So I started going in, seeing a therapist, and you know, looking back now, it's very obvious to me why I wasn't doing well. It's so obvious, right? Like I had turmoil in my family. I didn't have a consistent living situation. My sleep schedule was awful. I was drinking too much. Like everything, my diet wasn't great. Like there was 1,000 reasons that I was in that space, and that's the reality. And that's so hard to swallow that when you're in that. And for anyone who is doing that poorly, because it like takes away from what you're feeling almost.
Wow.
It can be like, wait, no, it's not. No, it's not just because I don't have good sleep.
Invalidating.
Like, it feels invalidating almost. And so, you know, I had already been like, you get to the point where you're like, something is wrong with me. Mm-hmm. And, you know, I had people close to me in my life who were like, yeah, something's wrong with you. You need to fix yourself. And, you know, so then I have this narrative already running. Then I go in to see the therapist, and then they push me immediately. They're like, yeah, those are crazy intense feelings to feel, like to be up like one day. And then like when I had a low, it's not just like, oh, I don't feel good. It'd be like, I can't get up. I can't get off the couch. Right. I'm laying there just crying.
Yep.
Like I can't even move.
Couldn't function.
I can't function. I can't go to, if that happened, the day was over.
Yeah, I remember there were days you couldn't go to work.
I can't go to work. I'm done.
Yeah.
I can't go in. I can't do anything. I'm not doing well. And, you know, so I go in, I have all information, and then immediately a therapist is like pushing me to bipolar, you know, like this, I think this is where you are.
This is your diagnosis.
This is your diagnosis. Mm-hmm. We have another follow-up. Yeah, this has got to be it for sure. I'm almost 100% after our second meeting.
How long were your meetings?
Okay. That was an actual therapist, so that's an hour.
Okay,
so that's after a second meeting. We go straight to psychiatrist. Okay. Psychiatrist, we do an evaluation. We do all the things. Yeah, I think so too. Like that. I mean, in 10 days, I'm on medication for bipolar disorder, which is the medication I was on is called lamotrigine. It's a mood stabilizer, and like that fast, they put me on that.
Wow.
And gosh, like, so then I get on that train, and then it was like, after that, and you have your perspective on this too. Like, it was pretty much like, okay, I adopted the whole identity then. I was like, okay, I am bipolar. I have bipolar disorder. So now I have to treat myself that way and cater to myself in the way that I need to, basically.
What did that look like?
I mean, the medication, obviously, but here's the reality is, and I'll get to this, I'm obviously going to go like all the way in on all of this, but like,
of course.
Yeah. It looked like, I think just at first it was like an explanation to certain people in my life who I was trying to like prove to, like family members who were like, yeah, something's wrong with you. I was like, guys, this is why, this is why,
wrong,
you know, so it actually felt like relief.
Okay.
Because that's what it was.
I do remember that. I remember
you did
feel relief.
It felt like a lot of relief. But then the problem is, and this is what I see a lot of people who are struggling with something, then it's like, now I have this identity that I can cling to, and it's my excuse to, you know, really not get better anymore. Just manage this.
It's an identity.
Yes,
I like how you said
it's
that.
An identity versus, you know, we don't look at it. So with pretty much any other sickness, when someone gets sick, it's like, okay, how are we going to heal?
Right.
What are we going to do to make you never have to take medication again, get better?
Yep.
I don't see that in the mental health space. I see, all right, you're sick. This is what you have. Now you're going to be on medication forever.
Forever, like for the rest of your life. It's not
this
like,
is
hey,
what you
let's
have.
do it for a month and then we're going to get you off of it.
Yeah.
And that's what I was reading recently, like as I was researching for this episode. It's just that like it's so hard to get off. Like the reason that people stay on for years is because it's so hard to get off after.
They don't push you to get off. They don't set you up to get off it.
Yep.
And yeah, so I had that point of like relief and like, oh, this is who I am. And I was on the medication, but like I wasn't getting any better.
Yeah.
And there was that one day when I was in the hot tub with you that morning. And
at your dad's?
At my dad's house.
Yeah.
I was at my dad's house and I felt like, I really felt like I was going to die. Like I felt that bad. Like I felt like I was in that bad of a place. And I almost felt like I was never going to get better. And you were just sitting with me there. You know, I knew I couldn't go to work that day. I couldn't work out. Like I was just going to try and survive the day. And and then I remember just like I was just praying. I was like, God help me. And I got like this picture. I got like this vision of me saying, I used to have bipolar. When I felt like I was like so in it. When I felt like it was so bad. And I think I said it to you.
Yeah.
I think I said it to you. I said, I'm going to say that. I'm going to say I used to have this. I used to struggle with this. And at that point, I was like, I didn't like know where it was going to go, but I knew I was going to get better. I knew somehow, some way I was going to get better. And I didn't get better for a long time after that, actually.
But you knew in that moment.
But it was, and I hung on to that moment. I hung on to that moment because I got that picture, like, I'm gonna, like, you can't explain, like, when you're not there, like, what it really feels like when you actually start to believe you're gonna die. You feel like you're in such, like, mental anguish, your body's in so much pain, you think you're gonna die. And I would think that, like, I would believe that, like, you know, you sat with me in those moments, like, I would be very convinced, like, you know, like, this is kind of it.
No, and I fully believe that you felt that.
Yes.
You know, which is, I think it's hard for anyone to understand who hasn't gone through it. And obviously I haven't either, but knowing you and seeing you, I could tell like that is genuinely how you feel with every single ounce of you. Like it doesn't feel like it's going to get better. Yeah.
And I think I was also really frustrated too, because I was like, I was like, I'm strong. I'm so strong. I know I'm mentally strong. Why? Like, how can I not get it together? And that's a problem. Like, I just felt like something was wrong with me.
Yeah.
And that I need to not feel that way in order to, like, not have something wrong with me. Like, the feelings themselves were what was wrong with me, is what I thought.
Okay.
And then I could outstrength those feelings.
Right.
And that's what I was, like, trying to get to. I was like, man, how can I outstrength feeling like I'm going to die, like my life isn't worth living, like all these things.
Right.
You can't. Like, that's not actually how you tackle that. So it went on that way. Like, we moved here, and where I was just, it was just like, it was a roller coaster.
Yeah, it still was. Yeah.
It was a roller coaster. You know that. Obviously, I met Mitchell, and then 4 years ago in October, I got a concussion. Yeah. And after I got that concussion, it was like everything got way worse. It was... Do you remember that?
Yes.
Yeah. It was pretty much like...
Because I think that you'd been somewhat better. Obviously, you weren't where you were now, but that concussion took you way back down.
Took me all the way back.
Yep.
I felt like we were at square one. I felt like I couldn't function. I couldn't hold down a job. I couldn't live my life. And, you know, I am still talking to my therapist, and all they start doing is more medication. More medication. To the point they were like, okay, 3 times a day, you need to take 100 milligrams. No, it got to 150 milligrams of Lamotrigine 3 times a day. So I had a timer on my phone. I was like, oh, gotta take my medication. And as I started doing that, I started getting like paranoid about it. I think I remember telling you that. I was like, this doesn't feel right. Something feels wrong. I'm not getting better.
Yeah.
And I'm still like.
And it wasn't the first time you'd been paranoid about your meds.
I was always paranoid.
You talked about how even at 17, but I remember that there were several times along your process of taking meds where you were like, I don't want to be on this. I want to be done.
Yes. I'd stop taking them for a couple days, which is like a terrible thing to do.
Yeah.
I would just like cold turkey for a couple days. Then I'd have a huge high or huge low and be like, oh my gosh, I need to take my medication.
Yeah.
Which probably messed me up even more.
Right.
Yeah. And I kind of just like continued that way. I still felt like judgment from certain people in my life, was still trying to like prove to them that I was like stable and normal.
Yeah, there's so much turmoil going on.
Yeah, there was so much. And then I think, then like 3 years ago in the summertime, I definitely started to like calm down a little bit. And I started to do, it's this Mitchell sent me a podcast from Huberman.
Yeah.
He sends me a podcast from Huberman on bipolar disorder and the definition of bipolar disorder, okay? And like what it breaks it down. At its root, it is a sleeping disorder. At its very root, it is a sleeping disorder. I don't think like anyone I didn't know that.
No, and I want to, if we can pause really quick, I just want to talk about that because I like studied psychology when I was getting my degree. And I had a whole class on abnormal disorders, like mental health, every single thing, depression, bipolar, all of it. And it talks about the symptoms, the diagnosis, like how to diagnose it, and then the treatment.
Yeah.
Never talked about sleep. Never talked about improving your sleep. Almost all of those disorders, it was like meds. Take meds. Just
that's the only thing.
Sometimes cognitive behavioral therapy, always meds.
Medication's the answer.
And that blows my mind. It's sleep, lifestyle, diet, like nothing's ever talked about. But that's what you're saying. Like you never heard that.
Yeah, I never heard that. And I listened to this podcast and I mean, this is a scientist. This is like one of the most famous scientists, one of the biggest podcasts in the world. Like, it is no joke. And I'm getting it from the source. I'm breaking this down and I'm having this revelation. I'm listening to this. I'm like, I don't have this. This isn't what's wrong with me.
Yeah.
We're going to the root of what this is. I don't have this. This is not what I have. This is wrong. So then I immediately make an appointment with a psychiatrist, go into a psychiatrist, or like therapist to psychiatrist, go straight there. Yeah, well, I have a couple meetings with therapists and they send me a psychiatrist. They go immediately to the therapist, first appointment. Oh yeah, it's not bipolar. You got borderline. Just like that. And I'm like, but I'm trying to solve the problem at this point. So I'm like, oh my gosh, yeah, it's probably that, right? That's an easy, like, thing to kind of switch in place. I'm like, okay, borderline. Couple more meetings, send me to psychiatrist. Psychiatrist's like, yep, you got borderline. So what we're going to do is switch your medication, all these things. And I'm in that appointment and I'm like sick to my stomach. I'm like, what? Something's wrong with you guys. We're not going to, have you not heard? I've been doing this for years. I've been taking medicine 3 times a day.
Right.
What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I leave that appointment and I was like, I'm never going to see any of those guys ever again. And I was like, I'm going to heal myself. I am going to get better. I am going to do everything to make myself better. I don't care what I have to do. I'm going to do it. This is not the answer because you guys, because I was like, how could you have not deep dove on like my sleep, my nutrition, my relationships, my trauma, like nothing.
Never asked anything about any of those?
Nothing.
Wow.
Nothing.
That's mind-blowing.
It's insane. It's wrong. It's wrong. And I do not think that those people that I met with at any point had ill intent for me.
No.
It's just what's pushed on them too.
Yeah. It's the education.
It's their education. Yeah. I have no like any bad feelings towards those people. I genuinely believe those people really wanted to help me and really wanted me to succeed.
And they believed
that
medications
yes, it
is the only way.
Yeah, it's me. I'm passionate about this because I have anger for certain people, like because I know there's people who are trapped in this and they don't have to be.
Yeah.
And so but basically that happened and I was like, okay, I'm going to get off medication. I'm never going to take medication again. But I was like, but I'm not going to cold turkey. I'm going to do it right.
Yeah.
I'm going to wean myself off this. I'm going to
after being on such a high dose. Yeah.
Yep. And that's what I did. And I was like, and then I am just going to try to live the most healthy life I possibly can live.
Yeah.
Right. What are all the things I could do? I kind of just started to actually watch, like, what happened? Why do these things happen? Like, why do I have this big blow up? Why do I get to the point where I'm on the floor and you're like sitting with me there and I'm like, dude, I can't move. I'm just crying. There's tears coming down my face. What gets me to that point? And really looking at, really like breaking it down and realizing it's like, oh, number one is like when my stress is super high.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, and I know that about myself now. I can't, if I'm getting too stressed, I'm like, yeah, I got to cancel some stuff.
Yeah.
It's going to set me off. It's not going to be healthy for me. And I just started doing that. So I started like canceling things. Right?
Yeah.
I remember you seeing me. I was like, no, can't do it. Started saying no to a lot of things. Cut out drinking for a while.
Yeah.
Locked in on the diet.
Your sleep too. I remember.
And then sleep. Yeah. What I could not no compromise on sleep ever.
Yeah. And we've talked about it. Like we've talked about your slow mornings and your late wake up times. And it's like, it's not because you're like some princess that just like needs a lot of sleep. No. It's like, no, it genuinely, like, this is a necessity.
This is something I have to do to like live a good life.
Yeah.
And I've definitely put a good amount of content on like around, and if anyone wants help with this, by the way, literally message, because I have an entire system for all of these things that I've like built out.
Yeah.
But it came down to like the basics. It really came down to the basics. Like, locking in on the diet, making sure you have a good sleep schedule, and also like really not contributing to your own suffering. I don't think people really realize how often they contribute to their own suffering. And I see people do it all the time. Like you get an anxiety, for example, last week I had this massive wave of anxiety come into my whole body. Like I'm at the gym last weekend. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like feeling all this. I'm like, I'm not going to contribute to this right now. I'm not going to make this worse. And Mitchell could see. He was like, what's going on? I was like, just give me a second. And I'm on the leg press machine. I just sit there. I just go through some breathing exercises. Nice. You need to leave? No, I don't need to leave. I don't need to run away from this situation right now.
Yeah.
I need to regulate. I need to let my nervous system know that I'm safe right now. I'm okay right now in this moment. I just go through my breathing exercises. Boom. Like, breathe it out. Breathe it out. Passes 2 minutes. All right, good to go. Let's finish the workout.
Yeah.
But what I see so many people do is they get in a situation like that. They have this massive wave of anxiety or depression, whatever it is. And then they're like, oh, this is going on. And you contribute to it.
Feed into
and
it.
You feed into it. And then you think something's wrong with you. And you confirm all these beliefs. And then you go to, this is the stats I pulled up. So then you go to your doctor. You go to your doctor, because that's what people do once they have something like this. Okay, so according to the NCHS, okay, so the National Center of Health Statistics, around 70% of all like mental health medications are prescribed by physicians, not even by psychiatrists. Okay, wow. 70%, and then according to the same study, those visits, which we already know this, are on average 15 minutes or less.
So you're placed on meds that you'll probably be on for the rest of your life.
And then this is the other thing. Yeah, about 2/3 stay on for at the minimum 2 years. Okay, at the minimum of 2 years, and then 1 in 4 at least a decade or more. Okay, so you have that moment where you have that anxiety or you have that depression, because that's what happened. Like, that's life. Those are normal feelings to feel, okay?
Yeah.
It's normal to feel feelings of anxiety or depression at times. That's life, okay? Nothing's wrong with you. And then you freak out. You feed into it. You get this narrative. So you go and you ask ChatGPT, you ask Google. You're like, oh my gosh, I suffer from anxiety attacks. I go to the doctor. I'm worked up. I'm convincing. I tell the doctor wants to help me, and they also want to push their agenda and make their money. And they go, oh yeah. Oh, let's give you some medication. Boom. And then it's that easy to do it.
It's that fast.
Yeah. And you didn't learn anything about yourself. You didn't learn what that trigger was, like where that actually came from, why you actually are having that wave of anxiety.
Yep.
You know, because we have all these, and that's the thing that I had to deep dive. Like, I realized I had so much past trauma I just hadn't unpacked.
Yeah.
I hadn't dealt with. I hadn't felt. And so if you don't feel those things, they're going to come out. They need to be felt at some point. They need to be felt in a healthy way. Mm-hmm. Not in a way that is like torturing to yourself.
100%. And like you said, with mental health, the thing is, I think that there's more awareness around it. There's more awareness around going to therapy. You see that on social media. But we're not talking about root cause healing. We're talking about just taking our meds, Band-Aids for your symptoms, and never getting off of your meds.
That's what gets me so bad. And so the other piece that it really comes down to is you have to not look at yourself as a victim of it. Because as soon as you look at yourself as a victim, you'll never get out of there. Because the reality is it's easy to be a victim. It's very easy to be a victim. It's comfortable to be a victim. It's convenient. Okay.
Yeah.
You get you get more understanding, like all
more
the things.
Sympathy,
more sympathy, all the things. And like, that's going to suck for someone to hear. You're like, you don't want to hear this. Like, I know it. You don't want to hear that. You have to become a victor. You have to become a champion in your own story. You have to become a winner in your own story. You have to realize no one's coming to save you. No one's going to do all those things for you that you need to do.
Yeah.
Like, that's the reality. Like,
that's so true.
You have to do it.
I also really like how you talk about how initially, like, you would try to, like, overstrength, like, just overcome, those thoughts.
Yes.
And then you talked about how, like, at the gym, when you had that anxiety, it's like, you now, I feel like, and you can speak on this more, work with your thoughts, work with your body. You are not working against your thoughts anymore. And I think that's huge.
That is, and that's what we push in the mental health side. It's like, you have anxiety, something's wrong. Something's wrong with you. You have depression, something's wrong. No, those are human emotions that we have, that we're going to feel. And it's exactly that. It's like, how can I, in a healthy way, manage this thing that I'm feeling, not shove it down and ignore it.
Right. You're not a wimp for feeling those things.
Yes.
You're not being too weak. Those are real feelings and they're valid.
Yes.
But it's not a matter of shoving them down.
It's not, because you have to acknowledge.
Right.
But it's also, can I work with those feelings?
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there, I have this wave, this anxiety comes into me. Instead of being like, oh my gosh, I have all this anxiety. I have all this, I gotta get away from it. No, I don't have that. Instead, can you sit there and be like, okay, yeah, whoa, all right, body, we're feeling that anxiety, right? I talk to myself like that.
I love that.
I go, okay, wow, I'm feeling this right now. Okay. Yeah. All right. First thing you do, connect to your senses. Okay. What is it? We have 5 or 6. What is it?
5.
Yeah. 5. Your 5 senses. Okay. First of all, what can I see? What's around me? Okay. All right. Is there a bear? Is there a tiger about to eat my face off? No. Am I physically safe? Okay. Perfect. What can I hear? I'm in the gym. What do I hear? Okay. All right. I hear people working out. I hear people around me. Okay. What can I smell? What do I smell? I smell my own sweat, right? Whatever it is. What can I feel? All right.
So very tangible things.
Yeah. Get there.
And it grounds you.
Yes. And so many, and this is why we don't even know how to do this anymore, because we're on our phones all the time. We're pulled out of that moment. And it's literally ground yourself. And then the fifth is taste. So I take a sip of water or whatever. I'm like, okay, all right, boom. And I connect to my body. I'm like, okay, am I physically safe right now? And the other thing that's really big for me too is just like tapping, really big on like tapping.
Yeah.
And I'll just do that. I have the anxiety comes in.
You like to tap. Where do you like your pulse?
Yeah. The wrists are really good points. You can also go back of the hands, really good for the nervous system.
Okay.
Just tapping in general is really good for you. I'll do on my face, chin. I start feeling it. And I mean, I've had it where like, couple months ago, I was out to dinner with people and big wave of anxiety. And I just sit there, I'm just talking to people. And I just start going through tapping. I'm just like, yeah, people don't even notice.
Yeah. I don't think I've ever noticed out in public you tapping, and I'm sure you have.
And I have. Yeah. Yes. No one's even going to notice, but you actually have to connect to that. Don't ignore that. You don't ignore that, but you also, it's exactly what you said about the difference between empathy and sympathy. Mm-hmm. And you cannot be sympathetic with yourself. You have to be or you said
empathy versus compassion.
Oh, empathy versus compassion. Yes, yes, exactly. You have to have compassion towards yourself.
Yeah,
not be empathetic towards yourself.
Right.
Yes, because so if you're compassionate towards yourself, you're compassionate towards those feelings that you're having. You're like, okay, yeah, we're feeling a lot. All right,
This is real, but how are we changing
yes,
this? Like,
but okay, but what's the reality?
Yeah.
But what's the reality? Do we want to continue feeling this way? No. Okay. All right. Let me hear what we're feeling and let me work through this. Versus once we have the empathy in the situation, it's like, oh my gosh, yeah, we're feeling this. This is so terrible. I'm going to die. I'm going to be here forever. This is miserable.
Yeah.
And you cannot do that.
What a different mentality that is.
Yes. And I really think it also comes down to, for me, is really speaking to my inner child.
Yes.
And being able to have a conversation with yourself as if, there's that little kid in you.
Yeah.
And just be like, yeah, no, I know you're having a little bit of anxiety right now. Totally. That's fair. That's valid. But can you see that I'm going to take care of you right now? I'm not going to ignore you. Look what I'm doing right now.
And now your body is going into this safe zone where you feel safe. You're no longer in fight or flight, or at least you're getting out of that.
Exactly.
That's amazing. And now you're more regulated.
Yep. 100%.
That's incredible. So what, do you have specific breathing techniques that you do, or is it just like deep breath in, deep breath out?
Number one is box breathing. I love to box breathe. So that's like you count and you're like 1, 2, 3, 4 in, hold 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 out.
Hold for 4, out for 4. So
and you're always on the hold. You do a hold in between each one. And then the other one that now I pretty much have been only doing this one because it was a Huberman one. It's 2 really big inhales through the nose.
Mm-hmm. Out through the mouth.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that one.
Yeah.
That's
my
go-to.
That's what I did at the gym the other day. I had the panic came in, boom, immediately.
Yeah.
And then
even before podcast, you'll do that. I'll see you do a big inhale through the nose, exhale through the mouth. It's just like center, ground. Yeah.
Get in the moment. And then of course, all of this is also 100% spiritual. Without a doubt, it is. And if you're struggling like this, go to Jesus. Like I probably wouldn't be here if it weren't for Jesus. Like when you're going in that. So 100%, and just pray. Just pray. I am not, but how many of us when we're feeling like, and this is why I say you cannot contribute to your own suffering. When you're feeling like crap, you contribute to it. You're like, I feel like crap, so I'm going to go scroll on TikTok. Mm-hmm. I'm going to go binge trash TV. Mm-hmm. Versus I'm feeling like crap. Let me go read my Bible. Let me go to Jesus.
Yeah.
Let me take some deep breaths.
Right.
We don't do that. Mm-hmm. It's really sad.
We go to those distractions.
We go to our distractions
instead of actually facing what's happening.
Yes, which makes it even harder to come back from.
It numbs you.
Yeah. And then you're making the problem worse because you're not feeling those feelings. You're not addressing the problem, which is why I'm so passionate about medication. Now, certain circumstances, yes, you need to take medication, whatever. I'm not going to say no, but not that many of us actually are in that boat, but so many of us are on medication.
Right.
And so it's like, then you take this medication, you address the problem even less.
Yeah.
Because you're trying to just not feel those feelings. Mm-hmm. Versus, how can I manage and feel those feelings in a really productive way?
Yeah.
Versus panicking, right? Freaking out, making it worse, or not feeling them at all.
You don't learn any actual tools. And I do think it's so sad because, I mean, you were put on this as a teenager and so many kids are, and then that's just their reality as they're growing into young adults.
Yeah.
And I even remember I had a roommate, and I remember her talking about being on her meds, and she really wanted to, like, lower her dose. She's like, I'm going to talk to my psychiatrist about it. Like, I want to lower them, want to wean off of them. Like, I don't think people want to be on meds, obviously. Like, you don't want to be. And then I remember a few weeks go by, and she had felt anxiety or she had felt something, and before you know it, now her meds are upped. Like, literally the exact opposite. And
because you had a normal feeling?
Yeah.
It's exactly that. We're taught now that feelings are just across the board. Most feelings that are big are bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They're bad.
We're really quick to diagnose
We're
now.
so quick to be like, oh, yeah, you're having a lot of anxiety. Boom. You struggle with panic attacks. You struggle with anxiety. You need to be put on it. Like,
right.
Boom. Immediately. It's like, and here's the thing, too. I am also not saying that I'm, like, free of all this stuff. Like, I just told you, I had a panic attack. You know, I had that coming. I still struggle with these things.
Yeah.
I still struggle with the lows sometimes. I still struggle with these things. I just know how to manage it now.
Right.
I know how to manage it and still like live a good life. I don't know if I'll ever never have that, like it's just a reality. And I think that expectation is where we're missing it too. People like, they want to just be like, oh, I just take a pill and then my problem's fixed. That's what I wanted. That's what I was hoping for.
Yeah. And I think also that's really helpful to have that realistic expectation that when you do wean off of your medications like you did successfully, it doesn't mean you're fully healed now. Like you just have the tools to manage the big feelings that come when they do. And they will. Yeah. They do for anyone. I think there are certain people, I think you're one of them, where those feelings are like even bigger
I feel things
than
so
normal.
intense.
You feel things very intensely.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you can still manage them like you have. You manage them so well now, and you prioritize all your things, your sleep.
I do.
Your diet. Yeah. You are very mindful of your drinking when you drink, what you drink even.
Yes. Yeah. I'm like, no, I can't have that. Yeah. Yep. I have to be. And it's just a little bit of work.
Yeah.
It's just a little bit of work. You gotta do the actual work though. And you gotta champion your own story. That's true. It. You can't go to the doctor and be like, fix me. They won't. They can't. They're not even taught how to. You gotta deep dive and you gotta do the work. No, it's true.
And I really appreciate your viewpoint on that too, that they did, like the doctors and psychiatrists that you went to did not have ill intent.
Not
because
at
I
all.
think the majority
I have love
don't.
for those people. Yeah.
Yeah. But I even remember like my short time studying this sort of thing while I was getting my degree. Like that is the only thing that I learned, is that like medications are so important. And I remember really like thinking that even while you were on your journey of like you didn't like your meds, and I remember thinking like, no, but she needs her meds.
Yes.
Like her meds are the only way. Like I didn't understand.
So all my family pushed on me.
Yeah, I didn't understand that until you went through your journey, and it really opened my eyes to like, oh, I didn't realize there's so many other variables that go into this diagnosis, and it's not just meds.
Yes.
But I had no idea until you went through what you did, because that was all I learned in my education.
Yes.
And I imagine as you go on, and if you do become a psychiatrist or a therapist, like you're still not learning that. You're not learning those other tools that people need to heal.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so that's all they know.
They don't know. And I feel bad for them too. Yeah. Because then that's what they do. They're all on medication. All of those guys. Almost all of those guys that I talk to, they're all on medication.
Yeah. What do they say? It's like people go into therapy because they need therapy.
They need therapy?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I was like, oh my gosh. Yeah. And I think, just to circle back to this, because I really want to, like, I want someone to hear this. Like, feelings of depression, anxiety, whatever it is, if you can stop looking at those things as bad, stop judging them and judging yourself for having those feelings, you can change your life.
Wow.
You really, really can.
Yeah.
But you got to stop judging it. You got to stop just thinking it's bad versus looking at like, okay, I'm having the feeling of this. Okay. I am not that.
Right.
I'm not anxiety riddled. Okay.
Right.
I am experiencing a feeling of anxiety. And I also, and the problem is we get these thoughts, right? We get these thoughts.
Totally.
And then we just believe them. You do not have to believe every thought you have. You actually really shouldn't believe every thought that you have.
Yeah.
But then that's exactly what we'll usually go to. I have this feeling of anxiety. Oh my gosh, I have terrible anxiety. Now I have that thought. Okay, now I'm going to confirm. Now I believe that. And now I am confirming my own belief about myself. And so whenever this comes on, I'm like, yep, that's me. This is my identity. This is what I have. This is normal. This is what I deserve. And you get to this really low place and you're like, this is where I stay. Someone who battles with anxiety my entire life and it's miserable.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, I did that.
Yeah.
I see people do that. It's terrible. I hate it. I want to break it. Like, I'm like, I don't want people thinking that that's how it has to be, because it doesn't have to be that way. And I have obviously been in very bad places with it.
Yeah. And I so admire that. And I think that this, like, you publicly talking about it is going to help so many people. And I know that it was a big thing to share when you finally shared about it.
Yeah, I was super embarrassed.
Publicly.
Yes,
yeah.
It was really hard for me.
Yeah, but first of all, I don't think it's embarrassing at all. I think your story is absolutely amazing.
Thanks.
And you are in such an incredible place because you've been through it. And so I think that there are going to be so many more people who are in that place who are inclined to listen because you've actually been through it.
Been there.
You know,
yes.
I can't talk on it like you can because I haven't been through it, but you have, and now you're on the other side of it.
Yeah.
It's and awesome. What a beautiful thing that God has done.
Yeah,
exactly.
Literally.
Like it's literally God.
Yeah, because sometimes I was like, man, I remember questioning, right? Like when you're going through it, you're just like, why?
Absolutely, of course.
Why? And then it was totally like, he's like, so now, and because I had a remarkably intense and quick journey.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people are looking at 5 to 10 years of really, really struggling. I was like 3 years.
Yeah.
You know, then come up, maybe, you know, but you're looking at people who've been like long time. That's a pretty quick journey.
It's true.
To then be like,
yeah.
You know, so I was like,
intense journey, but it's
very
like God
intense.
just condensed it. He was like, you don't have to do it for super long, but it's going to be really hard.
Yes.
While you go through it.
It's gonna suck. Okay. It's gonna suck. But it's you know, I've always prayed this and will continue to pray this. You know, God put me through whatever I need to go through to be the best version of myself.
Wow.
And it's also like I heard this somewhere too, is like, you know, shield me from nothing, sustain me in everything.
I love that.
And gosh, like that's what he's done. Like just, I will sustain you. I will give you what you need. I will give you what you need. And it gives you such faith too. Like, like that moment in the hot tub, like where I was so like, for the next 2 years, that's the moment that carried me.
Yeah.
Just remembering that at one point, I will say I used to be in this place.
What a God moment. I mean,
I know.
That was, you know, that's not you in that moment.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's crazy. Yeah. So I know it's still a huge part of my path, and it is a lot to share, but I feel just like excited to talk about it.
Yeah.
I think the first time I spoke about it was about a year ago.
Was it only a year ago?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I was like literally like,
no, I remember.
Oh my gosh, I'm putting this out there. I'm going to get judged. And yeah, some people will judge you, okay? Yeah. And that's totally fine. Who cares? But most people don't actually.
Yeah,
they're
but
really
I
supportive.
also remember when you first talked about it, you got some really amazing people reach out to you and go, thank you so much for sharing this.
Yes, thanks for
like,
talking about this.
We needed to hear this.
Yeah.
Like a loved one is going through this, or I'm going through this. I remember you got messages like that.
Yeah.
And what confirmation that like
and I've built material around this. I have an entire plan, an entire like how if you're in the depths of drowning in misery and mental health, like I literally have, it's like basically like a 6 to 12 month plan. I have the steps for every single thing, and I have
you've done,
that I have done, that I have built out, that I have refined. If anyone wants it, I will give it to you. Like I have it because I literally know what it comes down to, like all the things. And you have to be very committed though. It's not easy. I think people think it's going to be easy. Not. And that's the first thing I talk about in that like, it's literally a course that I built out. I'm like, just so you know, this is going to be horribly difficult.
Just upfront.
And honest, you need to be willing to commit like this. It could be 6 months. It could be 12 months. It could be 18 months. I don't know.
Yeah.
It took me like 12 probably to get to a place of being like
for the long run.
Yeah.
The long game.
But it's like, oh yeah. But it's like, do that or take medication the rest of your life and never fix the problem.
Yeah.
No,
absolutely not. So before we wrap up, like I feel like you have given so many practical tools in all of this, but if there's someone who's maybe like in your spot several years ago where you're on meds right now, or you've been diagnosed with something, like where would you start?
Yeah. I would start with getting really, really clear with where you actually want to be. Where do you want to be? How do you actually want your life to look like? Do you want to carry this burden with you and have this hold you down for the rest of your life?
Yeah.
Do you want that? Because if you want that, you can totally have that.
Yeah.
But do you want something more? Do you want to get better? Do you want to heal you really can. Do you want to heal? Do you want to be set free from this? Do you want to be stable? Is that what you want? And really feel that. Like, is that what you actually want? Because you'll be surprised in realizing, like, whoa, I've actually been wanting this.
Wow. So connecting with that why.
Yes.
Like, what do I want?
What do I want? I want this? Okay. Then pursue it. You want the better life? pursue it. Take ownership. Be a victor. Figure it out. And reach out. Like, reach out to the people. Like, reach out to me, whatever it is. And you will find your way out.
Yeah.
But make sure it's what you want. Make sure it's what you want, because you might be actually leaning towards wanting that and not even realizing that you've been tricked.
Or like wanting to stay in that
wanting to stay in there because it's comfortable. It's where you've been. Yeah.
Wow. That's great advice.
Want more for yourself.
Absolutely. You were made for more.
Yeah. You were made for more. 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing.
Thanks.
This was beautiful.
This was great. Thank you for listening. I really hope you enjoyed today's episode. If you did, I would greatly appreciate if you could share this episode with 5 people you think could benefit from the show. Also, please feel free to connect with me on Instagram at Izzy Chinche or my website at izzychinche.com. Thank you so much for being you. Keep being a leader and making this world a better place.